Bonjour, ça va?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How's it going?
Why is
Can
it?
you, wait, can you hear me? Is it delayed or something like that?
Wait. It seems like your sound is coming out of somewhere else, so I need to fix that.
Yeah, maybe it's Twitch still in the background, running somewhere.
No, it's not. So, wait.
Wait, are you still in OCE? In Australia?
Where is it coming from? Yeah, I'm in Australia right now.
Ah, damn. I miss Australia so much, to be honest. But
Like, can people hear you in the background? Well, like when you talk? I just don't want people to have like echoes, and stuff like that.
no, I don't think so. Like, cause I can't hear myself, which would still be the case. But yeah, if Twitch chat
I
can,
mean, it's fine, I guess. I'll just talk with the microphone and just have I don't wear my headsets, and it's fine.
Okay, so like for you everything's fine in terms of Twitch that says everything's Gucci. So if everything's fine for you, then we Gucci overall. Your call.
It's okay.
Okay. He's taking one for the team, boys. He's taking one for the team. But yeah, how are you doing? I mean, today we finally get the official announcement of you joining Misfits. That's super hype, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really excited, and mainly, I mean, for me, even like way before, for example, when Jesse's left Fnatic back then, I had like coffee with him a bunch of times, and he was just telling me how happy he was in Misfits, and I've heard a lot of good things about the organization from different people, so I'm pretty excited to work with them, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, from what I can tell, Misfits has such a good rep amongst like players and that kind of jazz, so that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And of course, I mean, getting to play with Fabi must be hype, and Hansama and Max.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of the reasons why we were able to put a good roster is because there's not that many bot lanes, honestly, in Europe available for this year. Because, for example, Reckless was signed, Ansama was signed, and Upset was signed, right? And this is like the main AD carries, right? So basically, if you want to have a really good roster in terms of AD, then you need to be in one of those teams.
Yeah, and of course,
I mean, there's decent. Like, for example, I think Sheriff is like a potentially good player, but you don't know if he's gonna be good on a world's level,
Yeah. I mean, like I remember in Spring Split when the Rookie of the Split awards were given out, I was still arguing that Upset was the better player, but everyone gave me a lot of criticism for that and saying that Sheriff was a lot better because Sheriff just had the better split back then. So it definitely goes to show how team and the moment and the meta can definitely change perception, and I'm excited for Sheriff, but yeah, Upset definitely had the most insane summer split, so that's helpful. And
I mean, I don't think Itila is bad, but maybe their bot lane duo just wasn't like the greatest on the world's level. But I don't think it's bad individually. I'm just when I'm talking about like good lineup, I'm just replying to someone in Twitch chat. But when I'm talking about good lineup, like when I think about good lineup myself, is not a good EU lineup. Like I'm thinking worlds.
Yeah, like we need to talk about like S tier talent, not just E tier kind of thing. And I would agree with that notion for sure. Fabi and Max Lore as your teammates. Excited about those guys?
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking a lot with Max Law, during the off season. I really wanted to play with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I have a really good connection with Maxwell already. I think we are pretty similar in terms of how we are and how we act as persons. And I mean, I'm probably out of everyone. Like, I don't wanna put everyone is like in different bags, right? But I'm really excited just because we are pretty similar as person to play with Maxwell and just see how the team will interact once we start playing together.
That will be super super exciting for sure. I mean, like Maxlor was definitely always regarded as like at least top 3 in EU in his role. And
I'm sure. I mean, when Misfits was really good, after they're on a slump, so I think it's always easier to see. I mean, to think that the best player on the best teams, right? I mean, even for players, right? So, I mean, the way I see it is, as a jungle, I saw both, in my opinion, like Max Law being the best, and then I saw Broxa as being the best for us. I don't know. For example, if you'd put Broxa in Misfits, I'm not really sure if the team will work that well. I think Broxa just fit us perfectly.
yeah.
I think he's also like good as a carry style, but I think if you want a player to like change how to play, he just needs some time to adapt. And I think Broxa could do it, for sure. It just takes a bit of time.
Yeah, breaking out of habits, and especially when you're like kind of forged into a certain role.
Yeah,
With Broxa always
he had to adapt once he joined the team, right? Because he joined us after spring, so
or like during
we
spring.
already.
Like what week 4 was it?
I don't even remember exactly,
Yeah,
but
pretty sure it was week 4. I remember. Yeah.
yeah, since the team sort of had a style on how to play already, uh, pretty much had to adapt, and he had more the style of like playing for the team rather than us playing for him. Even though uh, there was some time during LCS where we were playing a lot for jungle too.
And like Broxa before he joined Fnatic was always known as this, carry jungler and spamming carry junglers most of the time. And like, I still think, I think sometimes back of, he was even at the Schalke no Fear scouting rounds. And he was just like, yeah, the typical mechanical everything kind of jungler, but like with everything else kind of missing. And then
Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily talking about like playstyle that much, but more so in terms of just how he is as a person. He is more just like listening to others and doing what we talk about. So he's not necessarily the type of jungler that is very demanding,
Hmm. Yeah, I mean that's what it sounds like for sure. Well, what was
yeah.
it difficult living him in particular? Because I mean, we saw the Twitter post today, and everyone kind of got teared eyed from those.
Yeah, I mean, me too as well. I mean, I think, as I said, like on the Twitter post as well myself, I think Boxa is just you always need those players. I believe in a team. You at least need one. Like you cannot have 5 players that need attention in and out of the game, and just uh, and Boxa is like the kind of player that is very mature, and yeah, you can say like sort of like a pillar within the team, that you can rely on, and is just mature to talk about issues and all this kind of stuff that is needed outside the game. So yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely what it sounds like from what I always hear as well. It's just I don't think I've ever heard of someone having beef with Boxer, to be honest. Like, it feels like that's very hard to achieve unless you actively try.
I mean, I think at some point maybe he was maybe annoyed with Gilius or something like this, but it's Gilius, like he just troll everybody, right? So
Oh yeah, I remember when Gilius was on Schalke and they just promoted to LCS. No, Gilius was on Giants Gaming. I'm boosted. But he was on the analyst desk after Schalke got promoted to LCS with Memento and Upset. And Quickshot asked him, Gilius, you're gonna go up against Broxer, and he's been really kicking butt. And then Gilius was like, I always really trash talk Broxer, but I have to say, over the past split, he really proved his worth because he finally started copying me, only playing Lee Sin and losing. And Upset is sitting there losing it, just straight up losing it. And everyone's like, "Yeah, let's go, Gilius."
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a classical moment. It's so good. I think it's even in his like highlight reel of best of Gilius and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like everyone know that he's like everyone know how to take Gilius. It's like it's confidence, but it's also like more funny. Like it's just really entertaining, right? So people can take it over like any way they want to, but us players, it's more like funny, right? And I think Boxer is more like a serious, is way more serious type of person. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe like he initially didn't really understand it in that way, or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I personally I don't get why, or like I get why Gilius gets that kind of hate in the regard, because it is his persona and it is the role he fills. But like at the same time, I don't get how people don't get it, that it is also meant to be funny many times.
But out of like players, at least players, I don't know necessarily too much about structure and what coaches think about him, but all of the players, I think they have a good feeling about Gilius. Like maybe it's a bit it's a bit up and down with the community sometimes, but I think all the players know that he is a good enough player to be there.
Yeah. I don't know, like from my personal perspective, I mean, I can only judge so much, of course, but like whenever I get to talk with him off cam and stuff, he seems like a very nice and chill guy, and very polite and all that kind of stuff. So nothing but praise there.
Yeah, I talked to him a bunch of times, like at a bar or anything like this, and he's really nice guy. He just like he just have this persona and he plays with it, and I think that it's fucking awesome myself, and like I wish also like sometimes I could do it too, of being like 100% real, but sometimes then this happens, eventually sometimes, and people just take it too far and just start believing the persona, and this kind of things. Like it's just not good in the long run, right?
Yeah. Especially if too many people misunderstand it and stuff. I mean,
especially in esports, like in esports, it's just...
I think it's such a cool thing though that we have players or like or having personalities like this, because like in traditional, or like in football, for example, everything has been so watered down and is super professional at this point, and jokes like Gilius, maybe okay, there's Zlatan Ibrahimovic that does jokes like these, but other than that, it's really rare to have jokes like that, and I think that's one of the things that makes esports so much fun. In CS:GO, I know you follow CS:GO quite a lot as well. Like there are so many CS:GO players that pull this kind of stuff as well, or like just think of Pasha Biceps.
But it feel like they have more freedom to do their own thing in CS:GO and in other games. Like, I just think just LCS makes everything a bit more serious, like, and then sometimes, we get told that we can be the way that, we can be real, right? But
Mm.
when we are real, then people don't like it, so it's like it's like, yeah, some people want us to be a certain way and some other want to be more, like, chill. But yeah, we just cannot
Satisfy everyone.
yeah, exactly, we cannot satisfy everyone. So sometimes, I mean, most of the time, it's just better for a player to just not say what they actually feel like they should be saying.
Yeah. Be real with me, sOAZ. Be real with me, but only if I agree with what you say. That's basically
Yeah, that's the perfect. That's actually so perfect. Like, the way you said it is like so perfect towards
Yeah.
the fans. They want you to be real as long as they agree with what you say. Like, it's just really stupid.
Yeah, it's difficult for sure. I remember, so for example, Healy, right? Like Healy is such a down to earth guy, and he never is cocky or anything like that, right? Um,
Yeah,
but I remember I did an interview with him, and he said that he was really, really sad after MSI because he felt like the
yeah,
team really heavily underperformed, and he thinks that they could have won against RNG if they would have performed to their best of their abilities. And people were hating on that so much, saying he's cocky and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, I mean, even if you disagree with it, it's still an opinion. Like, don't get your titties in a twist. Like,
yeah.
come on, that's just
But it's the same. Like, afterwards. Like, for example, I said on stream, like, that people see us, like, as, IG was just like the dominant team because we just shit the bed and we just got 3-0, right?
mm,
But, like, we played IG a lot in scrims, and I mean, we had really, I'm not gonna say like really good, but we had decent results against IG.
mm,
And I think on eventually in a different, if we prepare differently or maybe on another day, then the results will be different, right? But uh, it's like a lot of small things just matters, and at the end of the day, we just shit the bed, and they are better than us on this day, but it could have ended differently, and it's the same for like him and how he felt towards MSI. Just uh, it was just like a bad week, So
yeah, it definitely can happen. I remember, like, I mean, and it happens actually more frequently than people believe in traditional sports as well. So I'm a bit surprised that people are like, no, there is zero chance that any other result would happen. You guys are just trash. When it happens so often, like I don't know, France versus Portugal in the Euros 2016. Everyone expected France to win, and I would say that 9 out of 10 days France would win the game. But then Portugal just defends for 120 minutes and scores one goal in the last minute, and they win the fucking Euros. Sometimes that's just how it is. And yeah, people saying that there's no other chance, it's pretty unrealistic. What were your personal thoughts to get into, like, hey, some deeper topics now? When you were told that you were gonna get subbed in versus IG, what was like your first reaction, and how did you prepare for that kind of situation?
um uh the actually went through the same situation before, but
Hmm.
I just end up choosing to not play.
Okay.
Um, but this time around, I just felt like it was Worlds, and it was Worlds final, and uh, regardless of how shit the situation was for me, um, I just had to do it because it was just a chance to even though, like, I mean, I was trying to not think about it, of course, but
Yeah.
like backstage, you listen to communication and all those things, right? And I know all was the team, and I know I know my teammates really well. So I know that it will be extremely hard. Let's put it this way, to like win the third game, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Even though I knew that, I still decided to play because it was just an opportunity for me to play on the world stage final, basically, and that was the only reason why.
Yeah. I mean, I can totally see that for sure. It's like a potentially one in a lifetime opportunity. I mean, let's hope that you'll get many more chances, of course. But at the same time, like Worlds Finals is, or this was like the best result since season one for you. So
Yeah, I mean,
it
for
was
sure,
pretty
like
cool.
just being on the ceremony and these kind of things was just like really really insane. So
Yeah,
it
getting to see
was it was it
the
was a good feeling regardless. And um I mean, even between games, like I tried my best to keep the morale of the troops up, but as I said before, I think it was just like, sometimes at LCS or at playoffs, like a really funny thing that's I'm sure many people in esport can do is like many hours before you play the game, you can actually feel like if you're gonna win or lose, right?
Mm,
And when I woke up at Worlds and I see how everyone was interacting with each other, and when we are talking about preparation and the games and picks and bans and all this kind of stuff, like I already knew before all of that this was not a good day, to play League of Legends.
mm. Just something in the air, or just
Yeah,
something in the communication.
there's something that's I mean, maybe myself, maybe just more players, but just can feel,
Yeah, I mean, like intuition is just something you naturally develop as a skill over time, and given that for how long you've been playing, for how many situations you've been through, so many different ones. I mean, your intuition is probably the best ones out of all the pro players that are so active and stuff. But away from the heavy-heartedness of the past, that was still, of course, a huge achievement nonetheless.
Yeah.
If in theory, okay, if the allocated transfer rumor by Jacob Wolf that Caps is joining G2,
Mm,
and Mickey X is joining G2 and Perks is moving to AD, if that rumor, I'm gonna say it
yeah.
again, were to be true, do you think that Misfits and G2 will be the two teams fighting for the spot, or do you think that Fnatic will still be freaking Fnatic, of course, and be just right up there trying to punch you guys down?
Um, I will just talk about it like on paper, because at the end of the day, like even teams that are not as good on paper can be, first in spring split or
Yeah.
other things, right? At the end of the day, it just depends on how well the players mash together and how much they can improve and just fix their issues.
Hmm.
But on paper, I would say that um, I think it's gonna take at least spring split for G2 to reach their potential,
Mm-hmm.
if that happens. And um, I think for Fnatic, it is gonna depend on um, it's just gonna. I know the players. I think it's gonna depend also on a few things. I don't think it's necessarily so clear cut on if Fnatic gonna maintain their position or this kind of things. Um, I think with all the changes, the top of Europe is gonna be a little bit more stacked than last year, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think Fnatic, if everyone do their best in the team, is gonna be definitely up there. So all the three teams that you listed uh, could could be in the top for sure. So it's just hard to say third, second, third, like all these kind of things.
according to Jacob Wolfschi, Yotto is gonna join Origin, and according to the Riot contract database, they'll have Alfari, Nuke Duck, and Sheriff. What do you, and maybe there are some other players already looked at behind the scenes that you might know of. What do you think of that team in particular, given that you have your history with Origin, and Alfari sounds like a really fun matchup to play, or will always be a fun matchup to play?
Yeah, I mean, we all knew the love of the Fisher for Nuke Duck, right? So this was like a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And then, I mean, honestly, for me, I've always had a lot of respect for Alfari ever since last year at Worlds. For me, personally, I always wait until like a player go to Worlds, and then I want to see how well he can perform at Worlds with his team, right? So, for example, people were hyping a lot. They would hype a lot Wonder during the season, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like he was really good, right? But I didn't know how well he would play on World Stage. And I think, for example, after I scrimmed against them quite a bit, and I saw his games, all this kind of stuff, I was like, okay, this guy can actually perform at Worlds. So I like Wonder basically gained a lot more respect from me after he performed at Worlds, and it was the same thing for Alpha last year. So I just have more value for those players than just players that can only perform in Europe, So I think Alfari is extremely good. I don't know how he is in a team, but as a player playing against him and seeing his games, I think yeah, he's for sure like also one of the best in Europe, I would say. I think he's just Misfits last year. Maybe they faced some issues, and it just ended up that people didn't necessarily talk that much about Alfari and all these kind of things. But I think he's a really good player. And then Sheriff, it's a talent like ADC with a lot of potential. I think bot laners from this year said that he was pretty good, and we will see in a good team or well he can perform, right?
Yeah, I wonder whether he's gonna have like the upset benefit of summer in the way that he has, just a roster of veterans surrounding him, a secure coaching staff and that kind of stuff, and then he's truly getting enabled, and then we can see his full potential and see how good that is. That would be very exciting. And I also remember how you were memeing Alfari after the summer split MVP votings, and you were like, no, my friend, tank players don't get votes.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was like I don't remember what was the votes. Was it? It was Wonder, and then Cabo, I think, or something.
Yeah, something like that. It was Wonder, Cabo, and then maybe you or Bwipo or something like that. But Bwipo played bot lane mostly.
It was me third, so it was Wonder. It was Wonder, and then Cabo, and then me.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, during the season, it would have been Wonder, and then me, and then Alpha, for example.
Yeah. I think my list was also very different than that. So maybe it just goes to show that the top line quality in EU has improved by a decent chunk. I don't know. That is your call to make, not mine.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's from this year there have been a lot of. I think EU tops are really good, honestly. Like,
nice.
I mean, I've just judging from scrims and talking to a few different players. Like, I mean, I think, for example, Wonder and myself, and also Bwipo, we are all doing really good in scrims against like every single top laner from other teams. So I'm pretty confident that if Europe just try as hard for this year and we see like the good teams trying their best to get there, then I think we'll see eventually the same thing or even better for next Worlds.
Damn nuts. You're hyping. You're not allowed to hype. We don't perform when we are hyped, man. But like since you mentioned it anyway, we have more than 200 people watching. Thanks a bunch for everything. First time we managed that. Yeah, I mean, like yesterday I did the first stream. Today we already have you on board, and we have more than 200 people watching. And this is progress as fuck.
I was watching a bit the thing with the amazing.
Oh yeah. What, did you like it or?
Yeah, I mean, I kept on watching, so I thought it was decent. Like it was not bad.
Oh. Wow. The backhanded compliment. I thought the funniest thing I read in Twitch chat today was when the video came on, someone commented, "Holy shit, you interviewed Ed Sheeran," and I just fucking lost it. Oh, it was so good, and it's so fitting as well with his sweater as well. Holy shit, so good. But oh yeah, you against Bwipo to me is gonna be the most hyped matchup of the fucking season. So what do you have to throw in the ring at this point?
I mean, I don't have like too much to. For me, it's not like the way people see it. It will be like any other matchup, really. Yeah, I don't wanna add to the hype or anything like this. Honestly, I will just say like I think same for me. As any other player. Anyway, he was on my team. I think I gained a lot of respect for Bwipo as well after. I mean, I saw us play with me and with Bwipo, and I felt like we are both performing really, really well in scrims, and so I just think he's a really good player. Overall, like I think the main difference between him and me is maybe in term of calling, he will probably ask more questions, and I will probably not be more demanding, but be more demanding in a sense on what we are gonna do, right? Bwipo was more so asking questions in what to do. But yeah, I mean, I think he's really talented, and it was his first year, right? So
yeah,
we can only assume that he's just gonna get better. But I'm not worried because I know that I will get better as well, right? So it's all good.
Pog jumps in chat. Yeah, he was so good that they created a whole new award for him. Also, I expected something like a WWE wrestling kind of thing. Now, like, listen here, people. Now you might be the hot new top laner on the block on Fnatic, but listen here, I'm gonna come for your ass, and then I'm gonna make them regret ever like fucking whatever. Just something like that would be so funny. But yeah, I get it. But imagine if we had like WWE kind of announcement and that kind of jazz. Imagine if fucking Broxer would go on stage with Pop Pop in the background. How fucking hype that would be. Jesus Christ. That would be so cool. Maybe they should do it at All Stars.
Did you listen? I actually listened to the music like one time, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is." I mean, at the end of the day, it's like more a meme, right? But yeah, I guess it's just like everyone of this type of old school music, that they're like sort of attached to.
Yeah.
After listening to it for like maybe a long time, it's like it's really not good, like. But just because you liked it like a long time ago, right? But
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like this thing that you grow up with listening to in the car radio when you got driven home by your mom, and then 10 years later you listen to it and you're like, wait, this is
or you
actually
had the CDs of
yeah,
the.
exactly. Oh my god, I have so many cringe CDs from like back in the day. I wish they would all just burn by themselves. It's like so fucking bad. Oh my goodness. I went to karaoke while I was in Tokyo, and I had freaking Tokyo Hotel on the karaoke bar, and every German kid
Oh,
knows Tokyo Hotel, and
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, even in
it's
France, we heard about it.
really
Like
holy shit. Oh
yeah, of
man,
course.
damn, that
It
was
was it was it was like in France though it was a real meme. Like at the time, people didn't like take it very serious. On only some of like the emo kids at school like
yeah.
liked it, but for the rest of the person when I was in school, it was like a real meme.
I mean, to be fair, emo was like peak during that time. I was a fucking emo kid. I'll happily admit that. Were you an emo kid?
No, I was a cool kid when I was in school.
What? You were the cool
I
kid?
was like I mean I was like playing football, and all this kind of stuff.
Damn, you were a jock? Jesus. Yeah, no.
No, but yeah, I mean, I was not like the cool kid, but I was doing fine in school.
You were up there. Yeah, no. I was just like being emo and played Yu-Gi-Oh all day, even in school. So that was my childhood.
I hope there's not too many like NA people on Twitch. Like when I say football, it's
Oh
soccer.
yeah. It's. I mean, technically, you're in Australia right now, where they also call it soccer. But besides America and Australia, every other state calls it football. So I refuse to bend down to the minority and call it soccer. Where, no. This is EU pride chat. Oh my god! Now people are spamming the fucking Tokyo Hotel lyrics in chat. Jesus Christ. Ich muss durch den Monsun hinter die. Help! Did you guys have songs like that in France where it was like a youth trend, and now you just regret ever listening to this kind of stuff now?
Yeah. Actually, there's like a big thing in France back then that's called like tectonic. Um,
That sounds awful already.
it was like people were really into it, but like it just became like way too much, and then people just stopped this in like a year or two. It was like some type of music and dance at the same time, and yeah, it just became a bit too much. And I mean, looking back now, it just looks fucking stupid. But
I'm watching a video right now. It's holy shit. It's the
yeah,
most cringe.
this was shortly um after the fuck Tokyo Hotel kind of stuff.
I linked something in Twitch chat in case you're interested. This is like this reminds me of New Kids. Do you know like New Kids, something like that?
I think I heard something about the name,
It's like
but
it's
I
it's
don't
a
really
show
know.
from the Netherlands about people on the outskirts of the city that are just
Mm,
a bit interesting in the head, and they just all
yeah.
they do is drink all day and listen to techno, and it's like
Oh, I think yeah. Okay, I've heard.
verrückte Mongo, was Junge? And
But
yeah,
the thing about tectonic, um, I mean, back then I think I saw like a reportage or some type of stuff,
mm,
and it just came from clubs basically. It was like a dance in some type of electro clubs,
mhm.
and it just became mainstream after a while. So it
Yeah.
just everything came out, but
I'm like 99% sure that if you go to if you go to
I just,
Berghain right now, you would probably find music and dances like that. Well, that's
yeah. I
also
mean, I'm really not into Berlin type of clubs. Like
yeah, same.
I
I'm not
I
a big
cannot
fan of it.
I cannot go in any Berlin. Uh, I mean only like I can go to some like hip hop clubs in Berlin, but most of them is no go for me. Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that unless you're on LSD or ecstasy, I think 90% of the clubs in Berlin are not an option for you anyway.
yeah, and I'm not doing drugs, so
You heard it here first, guys. Pro player source is not doing drugs. Maybe that should be like a headline in the future, like not doing drugs in the future. Wait, Selfmade deleted a tweet saying good luck in Fnatic. Interesting. Damn. Their tweets getting
what?
also Selfmade put out a tweet saying good luck in and then at Fnatic and then immediately deleted apparently. Oh no, Selfmade tweeted it towards Nemesis. All right, okay.
Really?
Yeah, and then it got insta deleted. So maybe Selfmade kind of fucked it up. Okay? So from a player perspective, right? I always have the theory that I always say 50% of the time it works 100% of the time, and that is that Twitter follows actually sometimes work in determining who's going where and shit. And what's your take on that? Because I feel like it's confirmed way too often at this point. For example, like the HeQ to Rook rumor was I had people in my Discord saying, yeah, that's happening 100%. How do you know? Oh yeah, because of the followings.
I think it can be partly true, yeah, but yeah, I mean it can, but it's more if like like the org or player or whatever is not very careful about this kind of stuff.
Do you think that maybe
I don't think it's necessarily always true because I mean I know that some of the players or orgs really like to troll about this kind of stuff as well.
That's what I was gonna ask. Yeah.
That's why I said it's like partly true. Like either you get trolled, either the guy is just not being careful.
Yeah, for sure. So it is actually a somewhat decent chance. So yeah.
Yeah, just roll the dice, And...
Yeah, but it's like kind of like narrowing down on options kind of thing. I mean, like for example, Ziggs recently followed Broken Blade and Peanut, and of course, while it is a possibility, he also might just buy into the rumors and meme about that kind of stuff. So yeah, very very interesting. Yeah, very very good rumor leak. Are you like notorious for leaking stuff? I never realized that. Twitch says that you should that hey sOAZ don't leak stuff and stuff. Or please leak stuff.
No, yeah, I've been on the Fnatic Discord the past few days, and I've just been trolling them like every day. So.
Nice, yeah. I mean, I've been putting out troll tweets as well. Sometimes it's just fun. You know what's special?
There's this. No, I mean it was not like. Okay, it was like. It was people sort of knew about it, like from last year. When we were gonna announce like the team with Amazing, Caps, and everyone basically.
Yeah.
I think I was like the second last player, and there was just Caps after me. I mean, everyone knew already about that Caps was gonna join the team, right? But it was supposed to be like sort of a fake surprise, right?
Yeah.
And then basically we were coming one by one, and then we were like I was just being asked a bunch of questions, right? And for me it was just a no-brainer that everyone knew about it, and then but I still had to not talk about it, right?
Yeah.
But I just mentioned Cap's name like 2 times during the interview or whatever. So people were like saying leak or whatever, even though everyone knew about it. But yeah.
It was
but I feel like
yeah.
I feel like when I understand a bit more. For example, when Double Lift used to leak stuff on stream and these kind of things. I feel like when you're focused on something and people ask you questions, if it's like an interview or in while streaming on anything like this, you feel like sometimes the question that you're being asked is like not related to the thing that you don't want to talk about, but you just like yeah. you just don't really think too much about it, but you're actually just being used, for information.
Yeah, you're being milked and stuff, even though it's especially because like or you say things that you think are like public knowledge, or you think is not actually important, or people can't actually get information from it, but then
Yeah.
they actually do, kind of thing, um oh, someone Riot helped the social media guy of the Riot of the LoL esports Twitter. I linked the fucking Twitch highlight of you accidentally leaking caps. So wait, I have to watch this. Amazing just loses it. He's like, in the highlight. Wait, I'll send you a link on Discord.
Oh
So,
yeah.
he's just like, it's just like losing it. Oh, yeah, actually is it?
Okay, so the way I felt, it was like the first time, I fucked up, right? And because I fucked up the first time, I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna talk about
Double
it, right?
down, double
Yeah,
down.
exactly. Like,
You screwed up, you might as well. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's actually fantastic. Yeah, I wanted to ask something earlier, but then I forgot it already. I'm like giga boosted sometimes, but oh, you got the when did you get the sOAZ tag, by the way? That was like a month ago or something on Twitter.
it was a bit before Worlds. It was
Oh,
like
really? Okay.
either doing playoffs or a bit before, yeah.
Oh, related to that. So here's one thing that sometimes annoys me, especially since I'm like sometimes tagging players as well, or like I'm looking for the ad to DM them or something.
Mhm.
What do you think of orgs forcing players to put like G2 player name, or I don't know, Fnatic
But
player name, or
is
whatever?
that a thing? I don't
Yes.
think. So in Fnatic, like we have never been forced to like put
Okay.
Fnatic tag. I think it's more so of a player preference. Like if
Yeah.
you want to use, like
Yeah, Reckless has
Fnatic.
Reckless still.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I didn't hear about that myself, so I don't know if Orgs does that.
I just know
Like,
that all
does
of the
G
G2
G2
players do that.
G2 does it? Yeah. I mean, I think that like if the for example, if the rumors are true again, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing, but it would be super funny, no, if you would leak a Caps transfer twice in a row, just like in theory, like that would be hilarious. But yeah, go on. I'm just
Yeah,
moving.
but I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you like, let's say they don't play for the org, right? Then
Yeah,
they will lose their blue mark if they change name, right?
yeah, it would be the case for sure.
So I think it just really fucking stupid from the org to force the players to do that. Like, you're only contracted for 1 or 2 years, so.
Yeah, it would be a bit fucked up. I saw I accidentally closed Twitch in between, but someone in Twitch says that he wants you to know that he'll really miss you on Fnatic. What do you want to say to the fan?
I mean, honestly, like the last 2 years, I mean, it was a bit of the first year was a bit of a roller coaster in terms of both team and I mean, we still got to Worlds, right? But it was not like super successful, even though we got all our groups at Worlds. Second year was really successful, but overall, I mean, I've seen a lot more support these last 2 years from fans. I don't think only towards like me or Fnatic, just more so towards the players than in the past years, honestly. I don't know. I don't know if it's only me, but I didn't see uh, that much shitstorm or hate towards me or my teammates.
That's pretty beautiful. I think, yeah. I feel like the scene has gotten more positive as well. I think, I mean, yeah, I don't think we've seen many shitstorms. The only shitstorms that I can remember this year were stuff like the TS or like TSM not doing as well as people expected, and then shitting on Sven and Mithy for random reasons. Or like calling Bjergsen washed up. Like, come on, Reddit, please. But yeah, besides that,
I feel like when I don't know, some of the teams, I mean, as a player, like if I just see if I see 5 names together, I know if those 5 names are gonna work together or not, you know. If I know enough of the player, right? If I've either played against him or watched enough of his games, right?
yeah.
And I like with the TSM roster, I didn't think that it will be necessarily like a really successful roster. I mean, not that it will be like not, you know, going towards roster, but I knew that it was not gonna be the best team in NA for sure.
Just even before the first game was played, just based on the
Yeah, I
roster.
mean, I remember like because everyone was hyping this roster so much, right? Because
Yeah.
I mean, Sven and Mithy are really good. Everyone is really good in the team, right? But
Yeah.
I knew that this team was not gonna be the best team in NA. When everyone was like hyping this roster so bad, like I haven't said it I don't know if I said it on Twitter, but I remember saying it a few times eventually on stream or whatever, that people were really overhyping this roster, and it was not gonna do as well as people thought they would.
Yeah, hype is always can be a huge factor in terms of expectations and stuff, and it's usually never good in that regards. Someone made a really funny comment in Twitch chat saying that in regards to the community being more positive and stuff, it's simply due to 12-year-olds in season 4 have finally grown up.
Oh, this guy is really smart.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Team Liquid, right, looks super stacked at this point. Do you think that if Team Liquid will play in EU, if they were allowed to theoretically play with the same roster in EU, what do you think they would place?
Well, if they would be in EU right now,
yeah,
I mean, they will automatically get better, right? Because like they would be in EU, right? So
because of solo queue and stuff.
I mean, no, just by playing as the other team. But
Okay,
the
fair.
way I
Yeah,
see it is more so like the middle teams. I mean, I don't know it's gonna be in the next year, right? But
yeah.
in the last year or two, the middle teams in EU and the top 3 or 4 have always been better than the top 3 or 4 in NA and the middle teams in NA, right?
Yeah.
Usually it's really hard to compare like the best team in EU and the best team in NA. So usually I tend to think that they're pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more so towards like the other teams, right? And because the other teams are worse, then you tend to think that the best team in A is not as good because they didn't get as good practice because the other teams were not as good, right?
Yeah. It's something I kind of, so when Twitch chat earlier and I were discussing Caps potentially hypothetically maybe leaving Fnatic for G2, I said that while of course it could be, or maybe it should be considered a downgrade for Fnatic as a team, no matter like kind of who they sign, because it's freaking Caps. But at the end, it might heavily improve EU as a region, because then you would kind of, weaken Fnatic, who were last year or last season, in my opinion, and pretty much everyone should agree with this, the best team in EU by far. And then you had like 2 to 3 teams that were also good or really good, but Fnatic was just above them. And then like next year, we might have 3 or 4 teams that are all very close to each other, that are super teams, and that can all properly, punch each other where they're weak, but also strengthen each other by actually being able to challenge each other consistently. And yeah, due to having like 4 teams within the same weight class, that should make the region overall stronger, was kind of like my argument.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was just obvious from the start. I mean, um, any smart fan would know that like as soon as franchise comes, um, like there's eventually gonna be some changes, right, in teams and all this kind of stuff. Especially that because people knew that franchise was gonna come, most of the players' contract was gonna most of the players were gonna be free agent, right? So um, I think it's pretty easy to know that there's gonna be a lot stronger teams, or at least like mix of players that are gonna be yeah, like for example last year it was mostly us, and this year is gonna be like a top 3 or top 4 teams, because all the good players from like mediocre teams just want to join a better team, right? So in the end they just create better rosters together, right?
Yeah, multiple super teams essentially. Someone really smartly put Lord Baum TV put on a really interesting question to bait you into leaking stuff. He said, "sOAZ, does Fnatic need as much freshly pressed orange juice next season?" The baits are real, very very funny. But yeah, I don't want to keep you up for too long. Of course, one thing I want to say though, since you are in Australia right now, there is a beautiful version of Ben and Jerry's called Fish Food. That is currently, I think, only available in Australia anymore. It used to be available in Europe. It was my favorite brand of ice cream back then, and then it got discontinued in Europe, but it's still available in Australia. While you're there, make sure to try it out because it's amazing.
All right, I will try out I will try it out for sure, and I will tell you how I feel about it on Twitter.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm very interested in your opinion there. Is there anything else you wanna you wanna say, or you wanna let people know about, or yeah, just
No,
anything? The stage is yours.
no, but it was. I always like to have this how do you say, like spontaneous the like discussions, like I mean this time it's like on Twitch, but next time just wherever, LCS studio, just whatever. I like to be open and just talk to people. So yeah, I mean, thank you for inviting me, and hopefully, I mean, I don't know if you're gonna sleep as well, because it's a bit late for you too, no?
No, it's
I
only
know
midnight.
it's only midnight, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I will go to sleep relatively soon. I'm still kind of jet lagged from like Tokyo and stuff, but
Yeah. When
yeah.
did you come back?
Yeah, I think 2 days ago. Like my whole sleeping schedule and thinking
Uh,
of time is still
do
kind of
you
fucked.
do you stay mainly in Tokyo, or do you went like Kyoto and stuff?
No, I went. So last year I went to Osaka for a couple of days, and then this year I wanted to go to Tokyo and explore everything there, kind of. And
Yeah.
yeah, basically only stayed in Tokyo. But the thing is, right? Tokyo is actually humongous. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I lived in Australia, and Brisbane, for example, is also huge. Like, you can go from one end in Brisbane to another and go for like 1 hour and still be in Brisbane, or like 1.5 hours maybe. And Berlin is huge as well. You can, like Atlas Hof, the LTS studio is fucking 1 hour away from me. So,
Mhm.
those cities are huge. But Tokyo, like, I had a date with a person, right? And they were just like living 2 hours away. Like 2 hours away, but they were still in fucking Tokyo, and I was as well. Like, that's how fucking huge the city is. It's absurd. And then I drive 1 hour to in the other direction to the airport as well. So if that person would want to drive to the Tokyo airport, they would have to drive for 3 hours. It's so insane. That city is bonkers. How huge that is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you
I
need
mean,
any
I was there for
recommendation.
2 weeks as well, and
Oh, really?
it's for sure. I mean, not this year, right? But
Mm.
it's for sure one of my top choices, to spend holidays in, for sure.
Yeah,
I
same.
really like Japan and Korea.
Same. I mean, I like Japan a lot better, but I also can't eat spicy food, so Korea is always a bit of or was a bit of an issue for
And
me.
for me, it's like one of the reasons I just love the food. Like I love spicy food. I just love Asian cuisine. Like it's the best food for me.
I love Japanese cuisine for sure. Yeah, Korean is just I can't eat it. I'm too much of a pussy to eat that kind of stuff. But yeah,
I really love it.
I'm told that you should enjoy your time with your girlfriend, and everyone hopes that you have a good time, and etc. etc.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you everything. Wish you the best. We love you. sOAZ is love. So
I'm
many
trying.
hearts in chat.
I'm trying to fix my sleeping schedule today because due to off season, I've been staying up like all night. Because it's plus 10 hours here, right? So I know it's
Yeah.
10 a.m. But yeah, today I'm just trying to do like a 24 hours, and just sleep early tonight.
Jesus.
So
Jesus. Man.
probably just gonna get some food sometime soon. I wanna get a haircut, and I'll just try to get busy during the day, to not fall asleep.
To stay awake. Oh, one recommendation: don't
Yeah.
go for a haircut. From my experience, Australian hairdressers are actually awful. The reason why I have long hair is because I lived in Australia, because I didn't trust Australian hairdressers. Like legit,
I
that
mean,
was it.
okay, my plan is, so right now I haven't cut my hair for like a really long time, okay?
Yeah.
And I mean, as a kid, I used to hate having long hair because I mean my hair is really curly. So if I grow it,
You look like a
if I
football player from the 80s.
if I grow my hair, I have an actual afro. So uh yeah, because I hated like just when you're like 4 or 5 and all these like old people just touch your hair because they like
Yeah.
it, and then you just end up hating that. So basically I just always had short hair from this point on. And I mean, right now my hair is pretty long, but my plan is to like cut the sides. I mean, trim the sides and back, and then eventually trim the top and just see if I like it or not. And maybe we see afro as on next year, or maybe I just get short hair again.
I love how you already have a name for it. Afroaz. Holy shit. Holy poggers. That needs to become like a Twitch emote on your stream or something like this, if it ever happens. Afro.
If I ever get the afro, then maybe we'll see.
Do you have like pictures of that when you actually had an afro or something?
Yeah, I have pictures from when I was little, but
Oh,
not.
okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we need some Twitter posts here. Come on. I want to see that afro. That would
I
be
mean, I
amazing.
don't have it. I will need to. I mean,
Ask your
I
mom
didn't
or
have
something.
long. There's like a picture of when I was like. You can look at it on my Instagram if you have it. It's so as is
Sure.
good. And if you go towards the bottom, it's like. I mean, my hair was not long, but you can just imagine that like X2 or X3, and it
Yeah.
just looks a bit more like an afro. But
Someone else. Well, the official sOAZ Twitch channel just posted it on Instagram. Posted the link in the chat.
yeah, it's my
But
girlfriend.
yeah. So we have it on stream right now. So yeah, that's pretty damn cool outfit, by the way. Sick glasses.
My mom took this picture, right? And because sometimes she will be bored or whatever, she'll just dress me up like this, and put me glasses and then just take pictures of me, and I will just pose. I will be a model. I'll be a
Yeah,
model for
I
my
love
mom
how they
taking
like
pictures.
holding up the hand like fucking Julius Caesar
Yeah,
up
I
in
really
here.
don't know what the fuck I was doing, and I don't even remember anything of this. But
Yeah, I
that
think
I think that's fucking cool, like.
it is a super cool picture for sure. The best picture I have of myself when I was like legit a baby was when my parents also thought of a similar thing. We were like at the beach, and again, I was a fucking baby. And what they did was put my mom's sunglasses on me, and then my dad put a cigarette in my hand, and then like I somehow managed to hold it correctly. And that's like the best picture I have of me being a baby, being a fucking badass with sunglasses.
Yeah, you always look through like old pictures, album, and then you just always find these really good ones.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But
I mean,
I mean, this specific picture was actually was also in the wallet of my mom, I think, and that's why
aww.
I got to have it.
That's so cute. That's super, super cute, actually. Damn. Yeah, it is a really cool picture. I mean, if you would be a parent, you would totally do this kind of stuff with your kids, no? Like, just
Yeah,
dress them up randomly and go like, "Hey, now pose for the camera, little."
yeah. I mean that. I feel like that's one of the perks of having kids. You know, is like dressing them up for like Halloween and all this kind of things, like making cool costumes eventually. Um, yeah.
Oh god, no, costumes are a bad topic, honestly. Because I remember as in like third grade or something for Halloween,
Yeah.
in the class, obviously everyone kind of got, or we have a thing called Fasching in Germany as well, where everyone just dresses up and stuff. And I got a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh costume of like Yugi, and it was like
Yeah.
the suit itself was it's obviously super cheap as well, you know. And then it has this super cheap plastic mask that I tried to wear
Yeah.
the entire day, and it was the cringiest shit in retrospect. Holy
Yeah.
moly!
I feel like the best costume is just if you don't necessarily try to copy something straight and just a bit more original with it. But
Yeah,
um,
like you try
yeah. I
something
mean,
new.
I think to have the best costume, you just need like an adult to know what he's doing and make it for you, right? But
Yeah, kind of. Any anime recommendations right now?
oh, I mean, right now I'm also okay. So in Korea,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I watch my anime on Crunchyroll, right? And in Korea, there's a lot of animes that you couldn't watch, and you cannot use VPN on Crunchyroll because else your account might get banned.
Yeah.
So I couldn't watch Black Clover, and now I have like 15 episodes. I mean, I've watched like half of them, so I have like 7 or 8 episodes left.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people used to say that. I mean, there's like the voices of the anime were a bit obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think, I mean, I'm so into it honestly. Like I think Black Clover is fucking insane.
Like everything I heard about it was like imagine if Naruto came out today, kind of thing, and that can be both a good and a bad thing, I guess.
Okay, um, yeah, sort of. I mean, I watched like Naruto was like my first anime that I've watched
Mm.
myself long time like when it actually came out, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Black Clover is yeah. I mean, it's maybe a bit similar, yeah, in the sense in that sense. I just like it, like a lot of fighting scenes and just really funny moments. Like I think
I mean,
it's a good anime to chill and not take too serious. But
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, it's made by Studio Pierrot, who also did Naruto and also did a bunch of good anime actually.
uh,
Like they did
I
Yu Yu
like
Hakusho. So
I like the anime that makes you hyped. You know, like you just watch one
yeah,
episode and then you just feel like you just feel really hyped about everything, right?
yeah, that's basically Boku no Hero for me. And the funny thing is that I haven't watched like the last 10 episodes of Boku no Hero Two Worlds as well, so I definitely need to catch up on that. I heard that there's a badminton anime that's super good. Like Jesus was super hyped about it.
Mm,
I also so what was I watching? Oh, Castlevania season 2 was finally released.
mm,
I need to watch that on Netflix. And something that I've been really enjoying that is like, okay, so this is super weird. It's called Baki the Grappler, or it's now on Netflix as well as an anime adaptation. It's just called Baki. And it's
mm,
basically the story of like, okay, here's a 17-year-old and he's a fighter, and he fights in like underground bare knuckle fights to the death essentially. So like they go all out. And it starts with like 5 guys from different continents, so like or like countries. One guy from Russia, one guy from the USA, escaping. They're like on death row, so they should be executed. And then, for example, one guy gets electrocuted, but then he just survives the electrocution because he's just so strong and he's just a machine of a man. And then they all at the same time come to Japan to fight in like a tournament and just try to murder each other. And it's super brutal. It's like rated 18 hardcore. It's the most giga ultra violent shit I've ever seen.
I think I've
But
heard about it.
yeah, and it's super popular. It's like it has, I think, 40 volumes as the manga or something.
Yeah.
But it's super brutal. It's super violent, but I can't stop watching. You know, it's this weird fascination with violence that is existing within that anime.
Yeah, a bit of
And it's
chill series. I watch a bit of JoJo as well.
oh yes, JoJo is fucking amazing, man.
Yeah, I mean mostly like I haven't really heard too much about it until what's her name? The
Oh yeah, the I know what you
um
mean. Yeah. Ovile.
yeah, exactly. She talked a lot about it on Twitter,
Yeah.
so then I just ended up watching it. And
I'll say
I think it is nice to just chill.
yeah. I'll say the following: JoJo, in my opinion, so like I have a bunch of friends who say that JoJo is like the best thing ever, and I watched the first season and I was like, okay, some funny characters here and there, cool
I mean, it gets
soundtrack, but it's
boring
yeah, it
sometimes.
gets boring, and I'm like, what's so special about this? And then I watched JoJo season 2, and I was like, oh, oh, I get it now. This is fucking amazing, actually. So, like, first season of JoJo, honestly, is just kind of bland and boring. But season 2 and 3 of JoJo, oh my goodness, that is a treat to watch. It's just so much fun. It's so good.
Yeah.
Like, it's so
Eh,
much different in terms of quality.
yeah, I mean, I like it overall. Like, it doesn't get me as like hype. You know, it's a bit more. You need to get. You need to be like really into the story and all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. How
But
far have
yeah,
you watched, like, the first season, or?
I've watched a first, second, and I think I started watching third, and then I stopped a bit. Usually with animes, like some of the animes, unless I'm really into it, um like Black Clover and all this type of stuff, I usually end up stopping at some point because I'm just not that into it, right?
Yeah, you take breaks and stuff as well.
Yeah, and then maybe I will just keep watching it after when I'm bored and I just when I watch something and
Yeah. Have you by any chance watched or read Hunter x Hunter?
yeah, I mean I mean I don't read, but
You watched the anime?
yeah.
To
Definitely one of my favorite anime for sure.
yeah,
Actually,
that's my guy.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably my favorite anime.
Really? Okay. That's now we're talking. Now we're talking business, man. Yeah, Hunter x
Yeah, I mean,
Hunter is
this
just
the story is insane. And it gets you really hyped as well. Like some of the fighting scenes with the
oh
uh, I really like this fighting scene with the with the bald guy when he's fighting the ant.
oh yeah, yeah. We don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, that ant fight, yeah.
The ant fight with the bald guy is
Oh
really insane. I feel like
yeah, it's just phenomenal. I like it's funny because some people really hate the Chimera Ant arc, and I think it's one of the greatest works in like anime and
I
manga
liked
history.
it. I liked it personally.
I loved it. It was so good. Especially, the when they storm the palace and it's like everything's happening within a 10-second time
Yeah,
frame, but because they act so quickly, it's just as if it's minutes.
I
It's so insane.
I felt like I mean, the beginning of the Ant-Era was like pretty bad, but
Yeah, it
then
was slow.
it just gets a lot better after some point.
Yeah, for sure. And I also think like Hunter x Hunter covers so many different genres. Like you have an arc that is focused on stock trading or like trading, with antiques and that kind of stuff, and then they go to the auction to
Yeah,
buy the stuff they want. Then you have an arc that is literally an MMO. It's like Sword Art Online, but an
yeah,
arc
yeah,
within
yeah, yeah.
Hunter x Hunter. Then within that arc, that is already a different genre in itself, you have an entire sports arc in itself again. And like all of these things I love, all in one place with great characters as well and great animation and music and everything. It's just the fucking goat, man. It's just
Yeah,
insane.
the characters are really cool for sure.
I love it. Who's your favorite character?
It's, I mean, I forgot the names, but
Yeah.
fuck, and let me. I
And if
mean,
you can
is
describe
the
him, I can
I don't mind the having to wait. I mean, it's for sure. Like for me, is the guy with the gum, like
Oh, Hisoka, yeah. The
yeah,
clown.
Hisoka. Like I just think he's just really badass, and yeah, I like
Yeah.
it. I like it.
He's so insane. In the manga, the author did something so amazing. So whenever Hisoka speaks, within his text bubble, it shows one of the 4 signs you see on playing cards. So either a heart, a cross, a whatever the fuck, and whatever the fuck. I don't know the English terms for the other two, but you know what you say in playing cards. And someone deciphered on the Hunter x Hunter subreddit deciphered what they mean, and essentially it reflects the emotion that Hisoka is feeling. So, for example, when he first gets like rescued or whatever from one of the spiders, the woman rescues him, and he's like, I actually really like you. I'm gonna kill you last. And then he says it with a heart, saying that he's actually excited about potentially killing her and that kind of stuff. And it's just, oh my god. I mean, I think I know where the anime ends. I can just say that because the manga is ongoing again, right? Like after a long hiatus.
Yeah.
If it is going to continue, you are in for a treat, especially if you like Hisoka. Oh my goodness, so much good shit.
I've heard good things about what's gonna happen. I mean, I didn't hear anything specific, but I heard the same thing. Like it's apparently it's really insane.
It's good shit. I think my favorites are like, I mean, Killua is obviously very very easy, but also
I feel like Killua is like a bit sort of the
he's like the
it's the
main
same
character
thing with like
kind of thing.
it's like, I mean, Gon is just like a better character than, for example, if you just compare it to like Naruto, okay?
Yeah.
Like Gon is just way better character than Naruto.
Yeah.
And Killua is also a better character than Sasuke, but is like
he's
a
similar
lot
to
of people I think like a bit overhype the character as yeah.
I mean, I just remember. So, like, this is very early on. So, guys, you're not getting spoiled too hard. But you remember when they're in the maze and he has to face this like mass murderer guy that can just break stone with his bare hand, and then just. And like in the manga, the way it was like drawn was just. Oh my goodness! And in the anime as well, I watched the same scene later on. The whole pacing and camera angles and everything, it's just such a wow moment. Back when I read that, I was like, okay, this is actually insane. This is so good. I also really like the head of the spiders guy. He's super cool.
Yeah, I like this character. I mean, there's so many good characters, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Like the head end was cool. The bald guy was cool. Yeah, I mean, Leorio is pretty cool, I think.
Yeah. You watch all the really good old school anime as well, right?
Yeah, mostly. I mean,
like Samurai Champloo.
I haven't seen Samurai Champloo. Fuck no.
Really?
No.
When I mean, I watched like all the popular animes at first, and then in like towards like when I was in Origin, there's like Arane, and he is really into anime as well, and he made me watch like all these like OG really good animes, and I fucking love them.
I didn't even know whether it had like a super good anime adaptation. No, yeah, it actually did. Yeah, true. It's obviously about samurais. I'm currently reading Vagabond, which is a super popular manga. It's like I think in the top 10 lists of manga on like my anime list. And it's super insane as well. Like if you ever consider reading a manga, because I don't think it has an anime adaptation, then definitely check out Vagabond. Like, it's so insane. It's by the same guy who also made Slam Dunk.
Mhm.
And a lot of people really like that, but I'm not into basketball, so I'm probably not gonna bother with it. But yeah, it's super insanely well done. It's so exciting. The art is 10 out of 10, and that kind of jazz. So yeah. And also, since you like or you really like Hunter x Hunter, you should definitely check out Yu Yu Hakusho, because it's by the same author of Hunter x Hunter, and the anime
What's the name?
adaptation, Yu Yu Hakusho. So
Okay.
I'll read it to you. And it's it was like that was his first work, and then Hunter x Hunter came afterwards. But
Okay.
Yu Yu Hakusho has all of, like, you can definitely see it's by the same author, because it has everything that makes Hunter x Hunter so amazing. So, like, amazing characters and creative plot twists and super good hype moments and stuff like that. Yu Yu Hakusho has all of that as well. And it's so good as well. Like, those two are my absolute favorites.
Yeah. I haven't watched that many anime honestly in the last like year or two. I've been watching a lot more series, like Netflix series and this type of things.
Yeah, which sometimes is helpful, because sometimes they do Netflix
Yeah,
does
I mean, I
anime
don't
stuff.
know if I'm if I'm the only one doing that, but like sometimes, like 1 year I'm just gonna watch a lot of anime, and 1 year I'm just gonna watch a lot of series, and
Yeah.
it depends, Like
Yeah.
for example, you just wait for like Game of Thrones, so you just end up watching animes and just all this kind of stuff.
I still haven't watched Game of Thrones, and at this point I can't be bothered, because I've been spoiled everything at this point anyway. So I feel like there's no point at this point. But yeah.
I
Super
think it's still
amazing.
worth it, but
Okay, maybe, but it's so many episodes. It's like, if you tell someone to watch One Piece now, it's like, what the fuck.
it's not the same. Like it's really not the same. I feel like.
But it's so long as well. I don't know. Maybe. But super good Netflix series that nobody has watched. I don't know if it's also available on Netflix EU, but it's definitely available on
Mhm.
Netflix like NA and Korea it was, and Japan and stuff. Is The Good Place. It's so good.
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh, really? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, nice. Have you watched, like, because it's like currently ongoing again? Are you up to date and stuff?
No. I watched the first season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, first season. Yeah.
With the big plot twist at the end and stuff, and yeah, so
Yeah,
good.
I think the concept of the series is just really insane. Like,
Yeah, it's like funny but philosophical. I love that.
yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, it's like my favorite show next to Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Those two, the other shows that I always recommend to people on that when they ask for like Netflix and stuff. I don't get why people are so hyped about Black Mirror. I watched like the first
Oh,
season.
do you see the tweet of Arnold Fifth?
Oh, what?
You need to look at the tweet of Arnold Fifth.
Da-da-da. Bang bang bang. Oh, you mean the Cody Sun part?
What?
No.
No, just
Oh,
because
the bang 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 thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, cause right.
just for Bang as ADC.
Because it hasn't been officially announced. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, they're just trying to milk it.
Trying to meme it in advance. I love how the Schalke 04 esports Twitter person kind of debated everyone with saying, "Hey, Giotto, we hope that your next team will be really into basketball." And everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's going to NA, to a team that will have basketball relationships. He's going to Golden Guardians or Clutch Gaming. That's it, guys. Back it up." And then, according to Jacob Wolf, he's going to Origin. Pretty funny.
For who?
Huh?
Oh, the okay.
Yeah.
No.
I'm also convinced that if he would go to NA, he would just be going there because he wants to dodge me in FIFA. Because like a decent amount of time ago, he said that he's actually insane at FIFA and he would smash me at it. And then I was like, okay, bring a bitch. And then, yeah, he never actually came around and played me in it, so I'm just gonna be convinced that he's not as good as he says.
I mean, I've heard really good things about him, honestly.
As a FIFA player or as a coach?
As a coach.
Yeah, for sure. He's a super nice guy. Super good to work with. Also Niski, damn. If Niski theoretically goes to Cloud9, I need to play him before he does. Because we also have a bet going on FIFA and stuff. Do you play any FIFA at all?
No, I mean, like honestly, back in school, all my friends were playing FIFA and Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But I've outside school, I've never been a console player. I was like the only person out of all my friends that was a PC player.
Damn.
And back when I saw the first item on my PC, I was playing a shit ton of CS 1.6 and Dota. And this was the game that I ended up sticking to was Dota. So
we spill a little Dota. I listened to that today. Here's a new guilty pleasure I have. So I've never actually played World of Warcraft. Have you?
yeah, I did, but I played WoW. Like, what is fun? Like, I played WoW, but I actually played WoW casually myself. I've never got. I mean, I was quite into it because my brother was really into it. I had an older brother that is 4 years older than me, and at first we were like sharing an account and all this kind of stuff, you know. But when I got my PC, then I wasn't really that into it, and I was just playing more CS and Dota.
So Bang is now official, by the way. They just tweeted
Oh, is
it
it?
out. Yeah. Hype?
Oh,
No? No hype?
wait,
No poggers in chat?
is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I mean,
okay. Yeah.
I think it's pretty good for teams to sign like really good ADC mechanically, even if their English is not perfect, because I think ADC is like probably the only role where you just need to follow, you know.
I agree. Someone in chat just wrote, Bang announces retirement.
Bang announces retirement. Yeah, Bang is going for the money.
Hey, for the money. Money. I mean, at that point, like how many world championship has he won? Like 2 or 3? No, 2, I think, right? Is it 2?
I don't know.
Too many.
But
You're fucking
it's
Bang.
kind of like if you end up going to an A, it's kind of like they are taking back your world championships, you know. Like,
You are hereby disowned of your world championship.
yeah,
You went with it.
give them back, you know. Like,
like Mark Merrill comes to your house and takes away the fucking the medal or something. Oh, holy shit! I don't, like nobody picked up on my tweet. But Pobalto to FlyQuest PSPN. That's very interesting.
oh, who's already signed for this team, Evan?
Huh? What?
Who's already signed for this team?
For FlyQuest? That's
Yeah.
actually a good question. I don't know who still has a contract. Wait, let me check the Riot contract. The Riot contract database, TM. Damn, I was betting on like CG Pubalter. Just like based on feelings and stuff. Wait, no, this EU NA. Okay, the Thieves. Yeah, it might not be updated, but FlyQuest. So Santorin still has a contract this year. Wild Turtle still has a contract. NGO has a contract. I guess he's Academy though.
Flames onto implement?
Yeah, but Flames seemingly doesn't have a contract anymore with the team.
Okay.
According to the database, it's only Center and Wild Turtle that still have a contract with the team. Just NA team of, you know, the kind of like players that are okay, I guess. And then make it
Nice.
together.
It's not a bad team, but at the end of the day, it just depends of team chemistry and
Yeah.
like the way I see it myself is more so, you know, like you watch a bit of CS:GO, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like everyone have like roles, but in League it's not necessarily like roles, it's more like mindsets if you know the player a bit more. So you can see if like if this team is gonna work or not. But
Oh yeah, JJ doesn't have a contract anymore, right? Yeah, I heard some rumors about him. Would be sad for FlyQuest if JJ leaves. I think JJ is actually really, really good. Someone in response to your fucking comment on how they should take back or how they should take back the medal, wrote that Bevan even lost his mental. They took that too.
Oh, it's Kiluk.
Oh, is he like
Mr.
a regular in your chat?
No, I mean I know the guy because you have been around for quite some time now, so I know the guy.
It's so toxic. I love Twitch chat. I'm sorry for flaming your Twitch chat. That was earlier. They have a hard time make it to playoffs. Yeah, maybe. Oh my goodness. I remember in Summer Split watching 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest, which ironically, like that win against FlyQuest secured 100 Thieves kind of the World Championship qualification as second seed. And I was playing Smash Bros. Brawl on the Wii with a friend.
Yeah.
And then we ordered pizza and we're like, okay, we're gonna watch NALCS playoffs, 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest. And then we watched the first game, which was just something, I guess. And then we watched the draft for second game. It was the exact same draft, even though fucking FlyQuest got hard stomped and everything, and just it didn't look like a professional team almost. And then we were like, you know, us playing Brawl is probably more of esports competition than watching this game. So we just kept on playing Brawl instead than watching the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did that. Oh, Bang actually wrote the longest post. Hello, this is
Yeah.
even though
But I mean, like, I don't wanna these people, you know, that do this kind of stuff. But like, come on, like any people involved into esport know that this is actually 100 Thieves that wrote this post. You know, like.
Yeah, most likely. Even though I heard that Bang's English is actually pretty damn good, but yeah. I mean, when it comes to like those PR posts, it's usually.
Yeah, when I saw the fire of the team and the eagerness, you know,
yeah, those are terminologies you don't see.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, and like I will do my best in showing the best performance and plays in 100 Thieves like never before, and I will be looking forward to many support from my NA fans in the future. Also, super funny. Holy shit, he retweeted the ESPN article saying that he's expected to join 100 Thieves way earlier. That's super funny. Yeah. At least a couple of hours ago.
That's a big yikes.
Yeah. So within the time frame of 14 to 20 hours ago, he retweeted this and also retweeted his own tweet of him replying to Jacob Wolf. Really? Smiley face. And retweeted that as well. So yeah, that's
I'm sure he's gonna do well in social media. You know, like it looks like he is really involved. into that, so I think that's really good for
Wait,
him.
is he gonna do the fucking? He's gonna do the cosplay with Sneaky, no?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, but
my
this is
goodness.
for All Star, and honestly, like, is anyone gonna watch All Star? Because I'm not, But
Yeah, I mean, same, dude, same. I don't get the point of All-Star at this point. It's like try hard, but at that point, pro players are like, "Fuck you, now I want vacation." So what's the point of having a tryout tournament? And then you invite streamers as well, and it's like, huh? Huh?
yeah, I mean,
It's
I'm not like the reason why I didn't want to participate myself is just like at least in the last year you could have like an EU team or whatever,
mhm,
so you could have people that you wanted eventually to hang out with or do stuff, right? But
yeah,
um, I mean, right now there's like 3 players or something,
two, no?
and two, 3 players, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and it's not from like it's not like eventually the best players from each team, so you kind of know like who you're going with. Uh, so right now you might just go to All Stars and just be not doesn't necessarily have any friends there, right? So it just
Yeah, it's
I
weird.
don't know.
It's definitely weird.
It depending if a lot of people watch it, it might be good for engagement, with fans and all this kind of stuff. But if people are not very hyped about the event, then I think yeah.
Yeah, it's just weird. Wait, has Mowgli to Vitality been confirmed? Oh, okay. Yamato put out a tweet saying he's planning for his trip, and then posted a gif of Mowgli from the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. That's gonna be pretty hype, but yeah. Oh yeah. So to since you kind of dodged the question earlier, I'm gonna rephrase it. TL in Europe, where would they place? And now also, imagine like
on
since
the
we
on
got
the first split, like
uh,
how much practice do you give that? Like you need to give me a bit more, than just
yeah,
like
I'm gonna give you stuff. Okay, so right now, Riot decided, fuck it, we're gonna kick out I don't know, XL and SK. Team Liquid and 100 Thieves come in instead because they actually look competitive in NA, and we just say screw NA or something. And they to incentivize this move, both teams, Team Liquid and 100 Thieves, are allowed to keep the roster they've now formed. The spring split will commence in on the 19th or whatever the date is. Where do you think that 100 Thieves and TL would place in the spring split and summer split respectively? If they would be just like any other org in EU, essentially.
yeah. So they will like come like mid-December and start practicing and all
Yeah.
this kind of stuff with the European teams. I think. I mean, I'll put them in the same pack as like all the top 3 or 4 teams that are gonna be in Europe for next year. Honestly,
Damn. That's actually
it's
huge.
yeah. I mean, it's hard to tell again. Like before I see people play together, I never want to put the top 3. All these kind of things.
Hmm.
I I mean I could do that, but I need more time to think about it. Like it takes you probably an hour or two to actually go through those teams and see what is gonna work or not.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I just spin a wheel and then I make my decisions based off that. That works
yeah,
like
I feel like
20%
a
of the
lot of
time.
people does that. When they do like judgment in terms of team or of teams. Yeah.
uh, it's really good. I mean, yeah, my spring and summer split predictions, some of them were on point and some of them were just so completely off. I remember, for example, after spring split, H2K did pretty well in spring split, even in like in playoffs and stuff. They went against Vitality until game 5 and stuff like that, and Sheriff really
Mhm.
popped off, yada yada. And then was like, okay, well, where are they gonna place in summer? I don't know, 7th or 6th place, and then they go fucking H2K 16, and I'm like, well, shit. There goes my
I mean,
prediction.
yeah, I mean, as players, we just have a lot more infos on what's just because of scrims, like we just
Yeah.
know which team, like from one day to another, like which team is full mental boom and who's gonna shit the bed and go 0-2 in LCS, like all this kind of stuff. So
Yeah. It's just. I mean, and then you have like intuition coming in as well, as you mentioned before, and stuff like that.
yeah, there's just a lot more info, and it's not like we can communicate that to the fans. Like either, I mean, more so like not about like others, but more so about us. Like if if there's issues within the team, it's not like there's no winning situation for a team that is doing bad. Like for example, if you see like 100 Thieves, right,
Hmm.
doing walls and these kind of things, the situation with Codison, right?
Hmm.
Uh, there's just no winning situation for a team in this position to to communicate. Either
Yeah.
they talk about the issues that they are facing, and then maybe either staff or players or whatever is just gonna get shit on, or they just don't, and then they get shit on anyways, right? So
Yeah. It's super difficult. It's also something I didn't get in regards to the community reaction and stuff. Like I did an interview with Prolly during Worlds right after they got kicked out, and even I said, we talked about this, and it was like, well, there's no upside to revealing what's happening behind the scenes because
hmm
someone's gonna get heavily burned. Like it's either, and like even if we say, okay, well, obviously from our perspective we did everything right and the player's wrong, then we might even not be right about it because it's just our point of view.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that to then potentially burn the player and stuff also seems unfair to us, and it's not what we want to stand for. And I thought that was actually a positive thing,
Yeah,
because
I
in the
mean
past,
it's so
yeah,
much better for the org because they also have the chance that if they actually end up doing good, then it's then there's this case scenario where it's like, oh, you see, like what we actually did just end up like working, so we were right, even though maybe at the end of the day they are just not right. So um yeah, it overall is just better for orgs to just not air anything negative,
yeah, dirty
because it
laundry
might
is
create
never
more
nice.
drama than not. And if by the decision that they make they end up working, uh even if they're right in their issues or not, then yeah, it just doesn't matter because the fans just don't care about it anymore because they are just winning, right?
Yeah. Someone asked in chat whether Unicorns of Love were scrim gods in 2018.
No, they are not. They're they are doing fine. Like I think they had good some good players. I just think they are not like um they are not the yeah the I don't know if it was players or just team play, but maybe they didn't have like their players were good, but not good enough to just become like the top team, right?
Hmm. So like yeah, it's like good stuff, but it's just not quite good enough. Uh, Loco Doco leaked on stream that LS is a good coach. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. And that's just
I feel like LS is like is good at analyzing, but I don't know. Um, I don't know if he's good at teaching. I think he is pretty bad at teaching people, honestly. But I think he's really good at understanding the concept of things and analyzing everything and this kind of stuff. But I don't know if he would be good at teaching, a young kid on how to play the game.
Yeah, there's like this stuff that said carrot or stick approach, and Alice is just stick essentially. You're
Mm,
just like follow this, do this, or you're gonna get the stick. What if you do it right?
yeah.
Well, then you're not a fucking idiot. Congratulations. No, you're not getting any sugar. Go fuck yourself.
Uh,
Imagine him as like a parent. Holy shit! Like his kid coming up to him and he's like, "Alice, Alice, look at this drawing I did," and he's like, "Well, it's not a
but for
Picasso."
for example, like he could, I mean, the style of Ellis could work for like a good working team already. Like if you
Yeah.
have if you have players that know how to play the game, and they just need to just get better, right? They don't need to understand necessarily anything more, or like anything, like necessarily like macro wise or anything like that. They just need to like get better on small things. Then LS is like a really good coach for that, right?
Mm.
But I'm the, I mean, maybe I'm just completely wrong, and he's just like a really persona, like when it's like, yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just completely wrong, but yeah, at the end of the day, you just never know, right?
Yeah. I mean,
But
we
yeah,
will see. We
that's the
will
way I
see.
see it myself.
We will see whether LS will succeed as a coach or not very soon. I think it's going to be very, very interesting the future in that regard. He already said, like, apparently on stream that he's gonna coach next year,
Yeah, I
and
saw that as well.
I know which team, and yeah, very, very interesting for sure. Very exciting. A lot of people in my Discord were like, in our Discord were rumoring Fnatic LS, so that's insanely funny to me. But yeah, imagine, imagine for one
There's
second.
there is Cap's dad that is tweeted about me. It's so funny.
But what? What did he tweet? One sec. I need to check that out.
He just replied to Patrick Khan's tweet, and he said, "Merci, Papa sOAZ. Wisely taking good care of my youngster. Lots of smiley face. All the best for you and family."
Aww. He's so fucking wholesome, man. Holy shit.
I talked a lot with him because he stayed for a day or two afterwards, and I stayed as well. So after we lost, like I talked with him for like an hour or two about like a lot of different stuff. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I'm currently being fed stuff that no way that's actually true. Holy shit. That's nah.
What?
Nah, surely not. Like, how likely do you think it is that the whole Peanut going to G2 is not just a meme?
I mean, they did the thing last year as well, right?
Yeah, they're doing like every year. It's like, I don't know, fucking April Fools.
I mean, honestly, like even myself, I didn't know much about like what were doing the other teams besides the teams that I was talking to.
Hmm.
Uh, I just heard whatever the teams I was talking to were saying in terms of their options and players and all this kind of stuff. But um, I have no idea what some of the teams are doing.
Yeah. Basically just confirmed that you never really talk with G2, which is every single Wonder hater, which I'm sure there's like one or two somewhere, is gonna be very disappointed to hear, of course. Yeah, lots of love for Caps' dad. LS coaching an EU team. No, he said that he has no affiliation with NA or Korea. In my interview, which by the way was one of the best interviews I did this year, so everyone should check it out. What do you guys think of 100 Thieves Bang and CLG Pobelter? What do you mean with CLG Pobelter? FlyQuest Pobelter, no? We say that 100. Well, Bang should get his World Championship medals removed now. That's the bottom line. Apparently, Loco is really excited about the TSM bot lane. That's interesting. Oh, CLG PoE, yeah. TSM or Loco said that TSM will change at least half of their bot lane. I feel like NA people can never shut their mouths.
Everyone like attention, and it just depends to how much they like it, right? So
Yeah. Like, for example, how I like Fion, but he low key kind of did it too much with the whole hinting towards 100 Thieves Bang and stuff, and so it wasn't even a surprise at this point. And then Loco doing the same thing. Piglet Mada bot lane, what the fuck are you smoking, dude? Piglet Mada bot lane. Jesus Christ. Sven and Mithy should just come back to G2. Yeah, especially like Sven and Mithy are gonna role swap to top lane jungle and AD. Yeah. That's gonna happen, boys.
who's the team of Piglet, Evan?
C Clutch Gaming, yeah. But I'm not sure whether he's free agent.
What?
I'm not sure whether he's free agent, but he should be a resident now.
I actually didn't talk to any NA team myself, but like in the off season, there's like a really random message that Piglet really wanted to play with me or something.
Just like him saying like, get this guy to NA. I want to play with him. It's like, sure, okay, we'll talk. And then sOAZ was like, no, I'm not ready for retirement yet.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, man. It's like 1 a.m. And
yeah,
I think
I'm gonna go soon. I'm gonna go eat as well.
You need to get your hair cut unless we're going for the Afroaz.
Yeah, probably gonna go eat first, and then
Right.
I will keep you updated on the haircut situation as well if you want. You know, if you're really interested, you know, in I mean, I'll probably not post pictures. You know, like just see how it looks like in January once LCS starts. But
All right, okay.
just keep the surprise. You know.
Yeah, just let me know, and also make sure to check out Ben and Jerry's fish food. It's like it's caramel, so it's like chocolate ice cream as the basis, and then it has a lot of caramel, some little bits of marshmallow, and then little fishies that are also made out of chocolate, but I think like dark chocolate. And it's the most insane combination, honestly. Like the caramel really makes it, and it's like, oh my goodness.
It sounds pretty good. Maybe we're gonna end up just going there to try today. We have a lot of time, so.
All right, man.
So apparently there is one that is nearby the house. So
then it just sounds like the perfect opportunity. So yeah, let me know on that end for sure, because I'm interested in that. Yeah. Anyway, thanks a bunch for coming into the stream. I'm still bamboozled by the fact that you were lurking earlier. I legit, when I saw sOAZ, I was like, no, come on, that's like a fan account, right? Like that, I don't know, there's something, and then I was like, oh no, it's actually sOAZ. Oh shit, okay. But yeah, it was super fun talking to you, dude. Again, congratulations on making it to Misfits. I'm very excited about that team for sure. And I'm sure you guys will kick ass, and very excited about the spring split and stuff. All right. Talk to you
man.
in
Have a good night.
spring. Thanks, man. You as well. All the best. Bye bye.
Yeah.